Be Simone, be Simone. Lord, Lord, Lord. What can I say about that lady? I am like, I want to hear what everybody else wants to talk about in regards to this Be Simone situation. It's not really a big deal to me, honestly. Honestly, she's special to say the least. Um, she she's a grifter. She's a straight up grifter, and that's just what I'm taking from her actions, from what she's doing, from how she's behaving, from the things that she's saying. She's definitely a grifter. And she's somebody who's definitely searching for love somewhere, somewhere. But I really just want to like get y'all opinions, get y'all thoughts on it, on the situation, on her, her opinions on, spirituality and the whole horoscope thing and what have you. Honestly, for me, as someone who's been studying astrology for now over 10 years, and I've always been on the spiritual journey, but, you know, I've hit another spiritual awakening and going through that process and just learning more and more. We're always learning. We should always be in the mode of learning. And so, in me being in that mode right now and looking at another person who could have been, you know, could have went further in her spirituality, but I truly believe that she's a grifter. She's a grifter. She's somebody who, she will find an audience that she can make money off of or that she can somehow benefit off of. And she's found her new audience, and that new audience is Christians. And she knows that audience. Like, let's just be honest. I heard that her father, I would have to do the research because I don't know for sure, but I heard that her father is a pastor. So any type of, pastor's child type of situation, that's always going to be a little bit like extreme. It's going to be on the extremes. Hello, Jordan. Sacha, I think that's how you pronounce that. How you doing? Um, Obviously, I'm talking about B. Simone in all her mess. Sachel. Am I saying that? I'm real bad with names. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. But I know Jordan. How you doing? But yeah, I'm with this whole B Simone thing. My only concern is that people are gonna take this what she's saying and they're gonna take it to heart, and then they're going to base their whole, spiritual process off of somebody else's whacked out, experience, and her own perception is really messed up when you think about it. Um, you say, may God carry all of us and Satan will never get us. That's true. That's a fact. We are protected by the Most High. That's a fact. But yeah, so in speaking about B. Simone, the one part that actually got me every single time, if you ever hear people who want to talk shit about spirituality or the spiritual community, they always go towards the very superficial things and the things that they think they know, but they have no clue. If you can talk about sage and be like, y'all be doing all that sage stuff, blah, 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 and have no type of knowledge about how herbs are used and how these things are used, then why are you talking about it? But for some reason, everybody always wants to pick on those things, the crystals, the sage, and what else do they like to pick on? I don't know. They always like to pick on that. And it always makes me wonder, like, why? Like, there's so much more that you can talk about or you can pick at or criticize when it comes to the spiritual community, which I'm all on board. I feel like we need to be fair and everything. We need to be fair and balanced. And, criticisms that need to be talked about, let's talk about it. But don't pick at us, type of thing. Because the same thing can be said about Christianity. You said, sorry, that was your brother. It's all good, no problem. Hello to the both of you. Anyways. But yeah, with her, she's a grifter, like I said. She found her niche. She found another niche beyond, the spiritual community. She did that for a little bit. It worked out okay, but she really wasn't getting the response that she wanted. And the response I truly feel that she wants is a mate. She's looking for love. She's looking for a partner. And she probably got into the crystals and all that stuff to do just that. And she got the money and stuff, but she didn't do it the right way. She didn't do it with integrity. And I think that's what a lot of people who get into spirituality, you'll find a lot of people who are just trying to get the quick way, the quick solution, the quick fix. And they think, oh, it took too long with Christianity. It took too long with these other religions. So let me go and do this spiritual stuff and then I'll get it faster. I'll get it quick. And that's not the point of the spiritual stuff. Really, you're supposed to be doing your inner work. Really, you're supposed to be paying attention to yourself and how to heal yourself, how to develop yourself further, how to create a better character, and then present the new you to the world and live that life. That's what spirituality is all about. It's the improvement and development of your spirit, right? On this plane. And she just used it to basically come up off of people. She's just trying to, get clout, get money, and she really want to get some love. She want a mate. That's what she really wants. That's why she was putting crystals in her damn bra and all this other stuff and not even knowing how to even use these things properly. Because when you think about it, the rose quartz, everybody always want to go straight towards, oh, it's love. I'm going to find a partner. I'm going to be with somebody when I get this rose quartz and I put it here and I do it. And it's like, nah, actually the rose quartz goes beyond love. It actually all talks about all types of love, not just intimate love, not just romantic relationships, but it also talks about self-love, love between you and friends, love between you and your family. It's love, right? But you can tell what type of mind, what type of mentality somebody has when the first thing they go towards is, oh, this is for me, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to get. They have no type of mind or thought for anybody else in the equation. And that's when it makes me think about love spells and how people want to always get to the love spells. And it irks me because it's scary to think that somebody, instead of doing the inner work and the personal work so that you can be the best person that you can possibly be, you will attract your mate that way. When you have healed, when you have become whole in who you are, you will attract your mate at that point. You're not going to attract what you really want when you're not ready for it. And so these people, they be doing these love spells to attract these people. All they're doing is attracting a zombie, and they don't even know it. They don't even realize it. Seriously, stay away from these love spells. Because if you really doing the work, you won't have to do that type of work. You're really just asking for a zombie to be attached to you because that person didn't do it out of their own free will. They did it because you put some type of illusion over them. That's what the spells is casting. You're putting an illusion over them to make them see the way that you want them to see and then do what you want them to do. Do you really want that? Is that really something that you want? I was watching this review of this movie, and I actually do want to see the movie, and I forgot what the movie is called. But it was one of those, hello. It's one of those really, really quick movie reviews, right? Like 10 minutes where it reviews a whole movie. And in this movie, they're in the Philippines and a whole zombie outbreak thing happens. And it's a family. And the father, takes them to his home, his childhood home. And he goes there because he feels like they'll be safe there and yada, yada, yada. Whole bunch of stuff happens and it ends up that they're not safe there, that there's actually another place they could go and have more safety, but he's caught up in his own like mental breakdown or whatever. And so what he ends up doing is trapping them in the house. He won't let them leave. He won't let them go. He's like delusioned, right? And so, everybody knows he's not right, but he's stronger than them. He has all the, he knows the land better than them. So they're at a disadvantage. And that's what it makes me think about when I think about people who trap people in love spells. All you're doing is holding somebody against their will in a relationship against their will. Is that really good? Is that really somebody who has high integrity and honor? And would you really want to be with somebody like that? Well, if you're like that, then there you go. You shouldn't want to be like that. That's not the way you should want to be. That's B. Simone for you right there. She is someone who she's only thinking about herself. I wish I knew her zodiac sign. It really don't matter. But she only thinks about herself. She is very self, it's only her. And all the things that she does, that's why she doesn't have any friends. That's why, she don't have the type of relationship, the love relationship that she wants. That's why her money isn't quite the way she would want it to be. It's because she's not thinking about anybody else but herself. She's selfish, period. And now she's using the Christian community, right? Because she knows that Christians are going to open up their purses, open up their wallets, and spew that money out. As soon as you start talking the stuff they like to hear, I come. I was raised in church. I know how it goes. Okay, I know how it goes. If you talk them up enough, you get them hooting and hollering, and yeah, they'll start opening up them wallets and them purses and start putting money in the pockets. We have grifters in every sector. Okay, it's not just in spirit. You're not gonna just see, oh, that tarot reader over there bullshitting and they're just trying to get money. Yes, they exist. But also on the other side, you have people in the church who do the same thing. You have people in the mosque who do the same thing. You got people, whatever, wherever there are people who have power over money, you're going to find grifters. You're going to find fakes. You're going to find phonies. You're going to find people who are just coming for that money and their own agenda. And that's B. Simone. She has her own agenda that she wants to, met out, and her agenda is selfish. She's only thinking about herself. And I really truly believe that she's doing this. She switched over to Christianity because she ain't finding the man that she wants, within the world, spiritual, whatever. So she figured, okay, let me go to Christianity. Let me go to the church. I can get me a man there. And I just got to pander a little bit, just pander to the Christian folks. And then I'll have these men believing that I'm a good Christian woman, that I've changed, that, I don't live that sinful life anymore. And I'm ready to be a wife now and have children. That's the type of energy she's coming with. Like, she's really pandering, and people are eating it up, unfortunately. Unfortunately. And then she's going to spread misconceptions about spirituality. You know, um, the crystals in the bra, that's not what they're for, baby. The burning the sage. They actually burned sage and frankincense and myrrh and a whole bunch of other things in the synagogues, in the churches. It's in the Bible. In fact, no one ever talks about, no, I won't say no one ever. There are a few people who have mentioned this, but it's literally the breastplate that God told the priest that they got to wear. The breastplate has all the crystals and stones that Christians who don't know any better, they put it down. They say it's of the devil. How can something that God created be of the devil? How? The devil, or Satan, is an imitator. He imitates everything that God created. He cannot create it because he's not a creator. Okay? So if we know he imitates things, those stones, those crystals, where did they come from? Where did they come from? God created them, and he created them with a purpose, and we can use them just like we use the herbs and we use the other things that God created to heal us, to help us. You think he just created it just to be pretty? No, there's a purpose to everything. So when she's bashing these things, she's actually bashing things that God's creation. I will never understand how other people can talk mess about God's creation. How? And then proclaim to be a child of God. And you over here talking mess about your father's creation. That doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense. But there she goes. There she goes. And then she's talking about the horoscopes. And oh, I don't want to be, associated with anybody who always checking their horoscopes and blah, blah, blah. Honestly, horoscopes are really just entertainment. Let's just be honest. They're just entertainment. If you're really into astrology or you're speaking to an actual astrologist, they usually don't do horoscopes. It's really, they know it's kind of like a waste of time type of thing. They're just for entertainment. And honestly, she's right about that. We shouldn't be wanting to go and every day checking in on a horoscope. You should be every day checking in with yourself, every day checking in with your higher self and checking in to see, am I aligned? Let me make sure I'm aligned. Let me make sure I'm centered. Let me make sure that I have clarity as I move forward with the day. So, I'm with her on that. And I do readings. So I'm not, trying to get at anybody who listens to readings, because every now and again, God will send a message to his messengers and we will met it out like we're told to do so, like we are called to do so. And it'll be for you and you will receive it. Hopefully, you will have the heart to receive it, right? So I'm not bashing the messages that come forth, but we shouldn't be every day going outside of ourselves to seek answers to our questions. The answers are always within. So I'm with her on that, on the whole not checking your horoscope every day. That, to me, that's excessive. And to me, that shows that you really aren't aligned and centered, because you have all the answers that you need. Sometimes we do need confirmation, from the prophets. We need that confirmation. Sometimes there's a message that we keep missing. So God will send a prophet, will send a messenger to you, or on your path to get your attention, to get that message to you, because it's that important. But beyond that, you should not be checking every day for your horoscopes. So I agree with her on that one. But the crystals and the sage trying to put down people for doing what you really should be doing, you should be cleansing your house physically and spiritually. That's something Christians do. Now, what tools you use to cleanse your house, that's really up to you, right? That's up to you. Some people, they smudge. That's burning sage. That's burning incense. Okay. Some people like smudging to cleanse their house spiritually. Other people, they'll get, let's say, ammonia, and they'll do an ammonia cleanse. That's some people. Other people, they'll get some holy water or some holy oil, anointed oil, and they'll anoint their house after they do a physical cleanse. So when she's talking about burning sage and putting it down, to me, it's like, damn, she really does not know. She has not done the work. Because if you've done the work, that means you studied. And if you studied, then you know that that's a part of what you should be doing. Really. And it's funny because they made fun of Nipsey Hussle when he said, and I remember this because it pissed me off in the time, but I've let that go. But they were saying, oh, he used to talk about how he would sage himself every day before he left the house. I guess it didn't work when he was shot. That shit pissed me off because it's like, what? How does one correlate to the other? It's only because y'all don't know. Not y'all, but it's only because the masses don't know, because they don't do the studying. And some of them are just sleep. You just, whatever. But there's certain things that every religion, every system does that works for them. It's the same intentions, just a different way of doing it. If there's one mountain, right? And you look around that huge ass, high ass mountain, and at each spot, it's a different path to get up that mountain, right? So let's just say on the left side, it's a beach. So it's sand and it's that type of arena. Then you got on the right side, you got I don't know, it's a forest or something. And then the other side is snow on that side, whatever. So each different side, each different path has a different challenge to it, has a different environment to it, has a different whatever. But at the end of the day, they all reach the same top of the mountain. So it don't matter if you choose Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, it does not matter what you so choose because they all lead to the top of the mountain. What's the top of the mountain? Peace, serenity, love. That's the top of the mountain. What happens is at the bottom, at the base of the mountain, you'll see people of different groups. I'm not just picking on Christians. You'll see people of different groups shouting at everybody else. That's not the way. You got to go this way. This is the only way. And that's not true. That's not true. Because honestly, it's the fruit you bear. I have seen Christians bear nasty, foul fruit. Just like I've seen Christians bear beautiful, loving, just edifying fruit. Same thing goes for spiritualists, for Satanists, believe it or not, for a whole bunch of other people. It's about the fruit that you bear. Be Simone, what fruits has she bore that make us believe that this is really truly a change in her? That her going to Christianity actually is helping her to improve her life and to develop her spiritual walk. Nothing that she has done has really shown that. Nothing. So that lets me know she's full of it and no one should be paying attention to her. But the reality is there's way too many people who are and who are listening. So that means the rest of us, we need to speak up to make sure that her opinion is not the one that stands and gets highlighted above all the other ones. We have to make sure we speak up and we say, no, you're doing too much. We don't need to be this way. It does not need to be a spiritualist against the Christians. It does not need to be that way. In fact, it reminds me of when Jesus went into the synagogue or the church or whatever, and he was flipping them tables and stuff. He wasn't flipping tables in a sinner's house, quote unquote, in a Christian house. No, he was flipping it in the church where the Sadducees and the Pharisees were. These were Jews, but they were so caught up in their own little, how they felt like things should be. They didn't even recognize the quote Son of God was walking in the place. They had their own agendas. They were actually a den of thieves is what he called them. It pissed him off because he knew they was playing. They was playing with God's people. B. Simone is playing with God's people on both sides. Whether you're a Sadducee or a Pharisee, it don't freaking matter. She's playing with y'all. Nah, we got to stop that. Anyways, that was it. Yeah, you can go too far with anything. That's facts. It's called going to the extremes. So yes, I agree that you can take anything too far, and we should never be on any extreme. We should always want to be centered. Centered. That's balance. The extremes is where you get the problems. Extreme left, extreme right, extreme, believer of God to the point where you're delusional to the extreme. I don't believe in any of that. And all of you people are quacks. And then some miraculous happens to you, some that you can't explain with science and logic happens to you. And then you got to go and talk to the spiritualists because they have the answers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be on any extreme. You really don't. You want to be centered. Okay. But yeah, that was it. That's all I wanted to rant and rave about. Unless y'all wanted to talk about her a little bit more, not about her, but about the situation a little bit more. But I just felt like it needed to be said. B. Simone, she's a pick me, and she's given that energy. And she really, I truly believe she did some spell work behind the scenes. I truly believe that she did some spell work. I love spells type of situation. It didn't work the way that she wanted it to work. So now she's griffing on the other side to the Christians because she know that she can, get something out of it. It's a benefit that she's getting out of it. I truly believe that. I don't got no proof. I didn't pull no cards, so I don't know. But I truly believe that she doesn't spell work because she really wants a husband. She really wants a family, which is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with wanting a family and all that. It's just about how you go about doing it. That's where I have a problem. Is that it's how you go about it, your true intentions. What's your agenda? Because it seemed like her agenda is faulty. But whatever. But that was it. And Grand Rising. Oh, well, it's not Grand Rising for me. I should be going to bed in about 3 hours or so. But anyways, I love all of y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. I might go live later to talk about this some more after I sit with it a little bit. I just found out about it. I know I'm late. But I just found out about her whole video and the whole comment she made. And I was just like, what? Mm-mm. So yeah, let me sit with it for a little bit and think about it for a second. Then I'm going to come back and actually have a video for y'all because some needs to be said. These people are out here hating on spirituality and it's helping a lot of people, including myself. And maybe I should talk about my story and how it helped me, especially when me coming from a Christian background. I was raised in the church and, to the point where I got a mother who's well, they called her a missionary, but she's a minister. She got her own thing with that. I'm not going to tell her story. And, even to my grandmother, my great grandfather, who was a traveling pastor. I was raised in the church, but I also have my other side of my family who were definitely into hoodoo. So it's one of those things where I got both sides, and I feel like both sides need to come together because there's a lot more commonality than there is differences. So, anyways, yes, I'm sorry, Silken Essence. My bad. I'm gonna come back. All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye.